can't tell who won.
Oh, God.
And then Future gives it to Eminem. Because Clarence's parents had a real good marriage.
That is a good line. I do like that line.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never seen that movie before.
Oh, you should. It's on Netflix.
Emily started the podcast.
I don't know if we can play that.
Well, no, it was after we had the final battle from 8 Mile playing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's been 4 minutes since then?
No, she just took the logo off.
Oh.
Yeah. That's how it works.
Oh.
Oh,
What do you
God.
know? Hey, what do you
Shout
say?
out to Beavis and Butthead.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Something I didn't know.
Okay.
You got murdered this weekend and last weekend.
Oh, yeah, that's what happens in the play.
I didn't
is
know
get
that.
Murdered.
You didn't tell me.
Well, because
yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were going to show up. You did not. Thank you very much.
What was I doing?
You're probably doing.
I had a wedding this
stuff.
weekend.
Yeah. No, I'm not offended by it in the slightest.
You sound a little bit offended, and
No,
I feel
just
bad.
joking.
I feel guilty about it.
But yeah, I heard Aunt Sue from the audience like, and, I can't make the sound that she made, but it was some kind of like gasp, or it might have been like, come on.
What was the death like?
I'm sitting on a couch, and a guy comes up behind me and he cuts a throat.
What'd you do to deserve to get killed, or was it a murder
I'm trying
spree?
to blackmail him.
Oh,
Yeah.
class act you are. Didn't work very well.
No, it didn't. It was
Yeah.
cool though. It was fun. I don't know how good a job I did.
At dying?
Yeah,
That was my next. How'd you do?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I did I did a lot of I'm dead. I'm dead, and then I look at my hand for dramatic effect, and there's blood all over it and stuff.
You had fake blood?
Yeah. It was cool. So we literally did not practice with the blood until that we never practiced
The
with
first
the blood,
show.
actually. Yeah, the first time we used the blood was the first show. And it was pretty cool. The director John was gonna do a couple different things, but what he ended up doing was attaching an eyedropper, scotch taping it to a scalpel, and then the guy Mike who kills me would just push down, and it would come out as it came across my neck. Yeah, so it worked out pretty well. It was
A little
pretty
trick
cool.
of the trade
Little
there.
trick of the trade, a little behind the scenes tip from
Sheesh.
folks at home.
Headphones today.
Get my cans on. Yeah.
Cans are going on today.
Cans on, cans off.
You didn't clap them though.
No, because
You
I don't
have
want
to clap the cans. Shout out to Pay Money Wubby. That's stolen valor right there.
I did on my way back home from one of the shows. I got pulled over on River Road because I was on my phone. I was watching a podcast on YouTube, and I was trying to skip through the ads. It was Paris Jackson on Steve-O's podcast, which was pretty interesting. And I was trying to skip through the ads, which no one should ever do. You should always listen to the ads. But when I was doing it, I swerved a little bit, and when I got correct, I looked in my rearview mirror, and I saw these headlights, and I was like, those are cop headlights, and he lit me up in a second. So I go over, and I'm like, fuck, I don't even know where my registration is. So I open the glove box, and I think I've got some time, so I'm shifting through there, and then there's on the window, and I turn over, and there's this guy. He's a couple years older than I am, and I'm like, fuck. So I roll down the window, and he's like, you good, dude? And I go, I'm like, I was on my phone, and he goes, oh, you're good, man. I'm looking for a drunk driver. All right. And he just sprints back to his car, and as he's running, he goes, get off your phone. and he just gets into his car and zooms away. And then, so I get back in, and I'm at a stoplight that's right there, and another cop car pulls up right next to me, and he clearly saw me get pulled over and then drive away. So this guy looks over at me, and I just kind of look back at him for a second. I'm like, yeah, I'm untouchable. I serve my nickel. You come and get me. But then, yeah, there must have been some kind of bad drunk driver on River Road, because as I went further, there were 5 cop cars all around the same car. Which, is that protocol for when you have a drunk driver? I've heard that, if it's drugs, you get a couple cars there. Somebody gets pulled over and they've got drugs, you get a couple cars.
I don't know the, I don't know the exact protocol,
Sure.
but what I would say was it's definitely, very dependent. I'm assuming that if they were, looking for a drunk driver but didn't have them yet, that probably means that they knew something. Like obviously they were looking for this person.
Yeah.
So there's probably something more to it. Like, either they're running from them already at this point, or
right.
They're looking for the person on purpose and they don't know if the person's aggressive or something.
Right.
Like
they
that.
might have hit something or whatever. Okay, something like that. Yeah. All right, that makes a lot of sense. No, the guy who pulled me over seemed very excited to go find this drunk driver. Like he was young. I think it was one of his top.
What kind of?
I have no idea. It happened. It happened so fast. Like I didn't see what kind of car it was. If it was like a sheriff or whatever. But he he's just like, "Oh, you're good, man," and literally walked away before I could say anything else.
You know what that is? That's a lesson. Don't be on your phone, Andy.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be on the phone.
You got away with one there.
I did. I really did, because I was like, "Fuck." Because that
would have sucked.
It would have sucked. What happens? Don't you just get a ticket?
Yeah, but it's like it's usually a hefty ticket. You definitely would have had to go to court for that one.
Oh man.
And said like, "Hey, fuck."
I haven't gotten pulled over in a long time, though, which is why I was waiting for it. Yeah, the last time I got pulled over was 2 years ago, and I actually got pulled over twice in the same week. One was I was on the Susan B. Anthony Bridge, which is also so there's this bridge. It's in Rochester, and it's you can see the city to your right if you're going into it.
Is that the bridge that's kind of by
yeah, it's
when you get off the highway? Not that. That's just
no. Yeah. But it's this big white bridge, and also so it's called the Susan B. Anthony Frederick Douglass Bridge, and I'm like, they gotta share it. I get you. I just feel like that's so hey, see what we did this for them, but they gotta share it.
What is the connection between the two? Is there
Yeah, I think they dated for a while. I think they had a real hot romance. Now I'm pretty sure Susan B. Anthony was a lesbian. That might be propaganda, but I really do not think there is a connection. Except they were both, fighting for their right to party.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie Douglass. Let's see.
City of Rochester.
Yeah, no, Susan B. Anthony.
The work portrays Miss Anthony and Frederick Douglass, two early local civil rights. The famous suffragist and abolitionist were close friends who shared a common goal.
Wow. How about that?
Friendship.
They don't teach you that? McGraw Hill?
No, McGraw Hill would never.
McGraw
Hill is one of the racists.
Oh, McGraw Hill is a massive racist. McGraw Hill textbooks. White people did everything good, and now you can. And as long as you write that in your essay, you'll pass your AP exam. I got a.
Now it's.
I don't know why I'm still looking at that.
And now it's the opposite.
Yeah. Because we're learning the truth.
Cause I live at home in a trailer. See how it's kept? Is it stuck? Is it in your head at all? It's been in my head for so long, and it was in my head. I was scrolling Netflix one day and I saw that movie was on there, and then it became in my head, and I had to watch the movie because it was so in my head.
Nice. Have you been watching any Halloween stuff? Because we've talked about it for the past 2 weeks, and I really have not watched any Halloween stuff. My fiance watched both Halloween Towns without me, so divorce is on the horizon. Yeah, but she doesn't want to watch Halloween Town High. She's actively against Halloween Town High.
You just can't watch Return to Halloween Town. That's right. Well, I mean, you got to watch it, but that's where I draw the line as far as classics.
Oh yeah, for sure. The fourth Halloween Town, honestly, that's not a terrible movie.
No, but it's
just weird. No, because they just change Marnie's.
Yeah.
That's a thing. And that's just weird. It's just weird.
It's
not a bad movie, but Return to Halloween Town, they changed Marnie's just weird.
And what was Marnie doing at that point in her life that she was so much better? Or was she just too old?
I think she was just too old, man. I think she aged out. Shout out to Lucas Grayville, though. Still going strong. Also, the brother, but he was younger than her in those movies. And the brother stays the same.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's really young. I mean, they're all super young in the first one.
They are mad young in the first one. You forget how young they actually are in that movie.
That is the best movie scene maybe of all time.
You have said that so much that I Can you pull up a picture of that girl? Because you've said that so much that in my head now, you and she look the same. Like you, or not the same, but you guys like resemble each other.
It's in the first one. Or no, is it in Calabar's Revenge?
No, it's in the first one.
Is the first one when they turn gray?
No, the second one's when they turn gray. But Sophie remembers the spell because the grandma and the mom get frozen. And they're like, oh, fuck, we don't even know the spell. What are we going to do? But Sophie remembers it because she liked it and she made her do a little song. I mean, it's not straight on, but I feel like it's good enough to get the deal. See, that's just look at that 90s fucking quality, man.
Whoa.
Everything was so weird back then. Just everything was just a little bit off.
What's her name? Marnie?
Yeah, Marnie. I think I don't know if she's married to the guy who.
No, this is Marnie.
Yeah, that's Marnie. Oh, you were asking. Sophie's the younger one. Yeah.
And Sophie's a powerful ass witch.
Yeah, that's a thing. See, I think it's weird because. Yeah, see, look at that.
That looks like me.
There's something I don't know if it does, but in my mind's eye, she looks kind of like you.
Is this her now?
It looks close to her.
Sophie, what's going on? Let's see.
But yeah, I think in reality that girl was just like a terrible actor because she's only in the second one for like a few scenes and she does not nail it.
What happened to Sophie Piper? No, fuck, we're back.
But she but in the movie the way they wrote her off was great though because it's like, oh, she's doing some kind of special training because she's so much more powerful than everybody else.
Also, gets confusing because I'm like, this is Marnie's real name is Sophie. Fun fact.
Really? Sophie? No, Sophie Piper, played by Emily Ratajkowski, which is the actress.
Yeah, but look at this picture.
Yeah, so don't go by don't go by the picture. They're just trying to get you.
Mike Barney Nissan.
See, her name is like Kimberly Brown. Kimberly J. Brown. KJB.
Creepy.
That's not a good picture of that guy.
Creepy.
Is his name Jody?
What else is she in?
I don't think she's in very much.
She is a mother and an Instagram influencer.
Okay, I don't know about that. Like, let's see
who makes
how
content
true that
about
is.
her role.
See, that's not
an influencer at all.
Yeah, that's.
We
not
have
an
more
influencer.
followers on Instagram than her.
We have more followers than Sophie.
We should get
sick.
her on.
We should get her on.
Sick. Sophie.
Tiki ta. Tiki ti. I'm pretty sure that's racist if we keep doing that. I don't want to start raining. Heyo. Anyways, let's do a high five for having more followers than Sophie from Halloween Town.
But
that's
Sophie,
sick.
if you want to come on, we will definitely have you on the show.
Yeah. See, that's funny. Like that little kid. Like
right here?
Yeah. Like that. Again,
Sophie.
that looks like you.
Like, she can barely even speak English in the first movie. She's so little.
Yeah.
But she can
tiki tea and tiki ta, baby, and that's all you need to know how to do. That's a 1-2 step.
No, I'm pretty sure that is the one where they're in the movie theater. Is that the first one? No,
that is the first one. That is the first one.
The second one's when it turns gray.
Second one's when everything turns gray. Yeah.
And Calabar's a frog. In a human form.
No.
That dates Marnie's mom.
What happens is
their mom.
Calabar's son, he's the villain in the second one, but he pretends to be a regular good guy
Joe.
In the first one.
Yeah,
so
he
made a golem out of frogs and pretends that that's his dad, and that's the frog man in the first one. Yeah. So it's just the frog man.
What did I do to myself here?
Owaza is the cold brew coffee company that is changing the game, now available online and in all Wegmans locations. So if you're in a Wegmans, go check out Owaza. This stuff is the best. It's got 200 milligrams of caffeine per can, packed with electrolytes for sustained energy and L-theanine for focus. Comes in 3 different flavors: black, cacao mocha, and oat milk. 0 sugar and less than 30 calories per can with all the flavor that you want. This stuff fucking rules. I'm just going to tell you straight up. I had it. So usually what I will do is I'll have like 3 shots of espresso throughout the day. Clearly, it fucks with my head. But Owaza, I drank 1 can in the morning, and it was awesome. I had sustained energy for the whole day with none of the crash. And it's crazy because you don't get that dehydrated feeling that you get if you like drink too much coffee or anything like that. You only get all the benefits. So be sure to check out Owaza online or at all Wegmans locations. The link is going to be in this episode description. Check it out for yourself. Owaza, it's the cold brew coffee company that's changing the game. My favorite thing about Halloween is probably Halloween Oreos. And the only place you can get them is the grocery store. That's a problem because I hate going to the grocery store because even the parking lot is a mess, and then you go in there and it's just crowded. It's terrible. It's an absolute labyrinth. There's people all over the place. I cannot tell you how much I hate the grocery store, but the good news is I can avoid it, and you can avoid it by using Instacart, because with Instacart you can get not just groceries, but some of your favorite products from some of your favorite local stores delivered right to your front door in as little as 1 hour. And the best part is, right now, Two in the Cooler listeners get free delivery on their first order of $10 or more. All you have to do is spend $10. How many packs of Oreos is $10? Probably 3 packs. You can get buy 3 packs, which is the minimum of what you want anyways. And Instacart will deliver it right to your front door with no delivery fee. All you have to do to get that deal is hit the link in the show description. Get yourself that deal and make things easier on yourself by using Instacart today. Hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeves. These are all clothing. These are all things that you need. And why not get something that's going to make you look good, make you feel good, and supports this show? The good news is you can by checking out all the great merch we've got at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. The link is in this episode description and in our Instagram bio. Go check it out. We've got water bottles, mugs, fanny packs, bucket hats, slides, which are fucking awesome. All kinds of great stuff, not just for this show, but also for Schemin' and Dreamin' and Quested, the 2 other podcasts that we produce right here. So go check that stuff out. Oh, and the t-shirts, by the way, if you haven't heard, let me learn you something. Try blend material, folks. That's as soft as it comes. That's Target quality merchandise. And again, you can only get it at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. Link in the show description or in our Instagram bio. Do something a little nice for yourself and support the show. And if you're interested in advertising on this show or our twin show Schemin' and Dreamin' or Quested, the Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast, you can email us at snackspotsports@gmail.com for details on how you can start reaching thousands of listeners in the Buffalo area and beyond. Because as podcasting is becoming more popular, these large companies are seeing it as a legitimate place to advertise. McDonald's advertises on podcasts, State Farm. These are like massive fucking companies, and it's cool because they're moving away from like traditional media into something that people are actually tuning into, who are younger than like 65 fucking years old. It's cool to see them move away from that sort of stuff into podcasting. The problem is a lot of smaller businesses and then local companies, they haven't moved into that space yet because there hasn't been room for them, but that's why we're here. So if you're interested in learning more about all the benefits to podcast advertising, again, hit us up. You can reach us at snackspotsports@gmail.com. Gotta be careful. You can heal that up with a little tiki-ta. But we were just watching Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
Yes. I love Halloween movies. Sorry.
I love Halloween movies. I love Disney Channel original movies in general. I literally cannot talk about it enough. I had planned on starting a podcast with Emily and Jake Faz from Schemin' and Dreamin' about Disney Channel original movies exclusively. Still one of my dreams. Hasn't happened yet. But we were watching.
That would be tough.
It's tough. But it's a great idea. And somebody's got to do it, and I need that person to be me. But we were watching Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. The good guy in that, the vampire hunter in that, is played by the dude who played Lizzie McGuire's dad. I met that guy once. He's a creepy dude. Well, he's supposed to be in that movie.
Yeah.
He's also in Revenge of the Nerds, and he does rape somebody in that movie in Revenge of the Nerds. But it was the 80s, so they played it off like it was not rape, even though it was clearly rape. But I met that guy once at the Niagara Falls Film Festival. I met the guy who like ran it, and he was like, you know, here's 2 passes. You can come and check it out. So we went to like the opening night, and I was like, I looked like a real asshole because it was a very like casual. Well, it wasn't a casual thing. Like people were kind of dressed nice, but you know me, I was looking very nice, too nice in fact. Like this Bill guy.
Did you have a suit on?
This guy. I had a suit. I had a tie. I had a very nice tie clip. I looked phenomenal. I looked great.
When was this?
This was pre-COVID.
Okay.
This was pre-COVID for sure. But I'm not positive when. And so I went to this film festival, and that fucking guy was there. Will you look up what his name is? But he immediately I clock him as Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. I'm like, I have to interact with this guy. But I'm so like nervous and awkward. Robert Carradine.
Robert Carradine.
Robert Carradine. Yeah, that's him. So there's just God. So there's one moment I went with Sam Phillips, enemy of the podcast, and we were like standing at the bar, and he walked up to get a drink, and I had like a glass of wine, and I tried to kind of get his attention, and all I got out was like, and Sam the guy didn't even look at me. Sam just burst out.
So you didn't
laughing.
actually meet him?
No, I didn't actually meet him. I saw him from it. I was as close as we are.
You've been telling me that you met him all night.
Yeah, because it sounds better to get into that story. Yeah, it was terrible. And then it was him and the guy who played Kaczynski or whatever, the one guy from the movie Grease.
He's in Django.
Is he really? I don't remember him in that movie. He must be a bad guy.
Is he one of the
That's what I was thinking.
Tracker number 4.
Okay. So he's just so he's in Django, the way that some people are in Django. But then he
is that him?
No, that's not him. That's a different guy. But so he so they were all like sitting at a table, and during like the presentation, he like yelled out some kind of joke about like being in your underwear or something. It was really super weird. But so we took an Uber to Solidays after that, and I just got hammered on gin and tonics in Solidays.
Gin and tonics?
Well, I was wearing a suit. I wanted to try it, and they were pretty good. I drank them for a while, but I would get really drunk on gin and tonics.
I believe it.
Because
it's just gin and tonic.
Because it's just gin and tonic, and I would drink so many of them.
Because they always come in short glasses.
Yeah, they're cool glasses. God, yeah, it was brutal. Brutal times. Dark days, the gin and tonic days. I was also watching a lot of Dick Van Dyke Show at the time, so I was like, it's fun. It's back in the day. It's the 50s, man. This is what we do. We drink gin and tonics.
And we beat our wives.
Well, not that part. Not Mary Tyler Moore. You're not going to be.
You don't
Mary
get to
Tyler
pick
Moore.
and choose. All right.
Well,
you don't get to pick and choose.
I'm doing it on the TV 50s, not the real 50s. Although I guess it got a little real 50s. But around the 4th or 5th gin and tonic, it gets to be the real 50s. First 4 G&Ts, you're all Leave It to Beaver. You're fine.
Leave it to Beaver.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel bad about how when we were little, I would like force the television to, like during prime time, I would force the family to watch The Brady Bunch and Laverne and Shirley because they were on it like as soon as we finished dinner they were on.
Our mother probably enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm sure. But eventually, like, you want to watch. I'm sure you got 24 was on one of those nights or whatever, and you'd rather be watching that. Yeah, Jack Bauer, Kiefer.
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland.
They don't make shows like that like good anymore.
It's tough to.
Like NCIS, banger. Criminal Minds, banger.
Sure.
I guess Criminal Minds, they still make new seasons.
Do they?
But it's not the same. I'm pretty sure a new season just came out. I have to get my hands on it.
Getting too hot.
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. I ain't getting so hot.
You okay?
Yeah, that took a lot out of me. That was everything I had left in the tank.
Oh, that's all right.
No, I mean, back to Halloween movies.
Sure.
You asked me originally if I had watched any yet.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And the answer is not really. I did watch Twitches.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and then I fell asleep to Twitches 2 directly after.
Shout out to the darkness.
But I like that movie a lot,
Of course.
Like, now, I know we were hyping it up, but now that I rewatched it, some of the times you rewatch those and they're not necessarily as good as you once remember them.
That's what I love, though.
Yeah.
Like, the 13th Year, which is the one where the kid turns into a mermaid.
Yeah.
That movie.
It's not a Halloween movie.
No, but it's a Disney Channel original,
Yeah.
and it's so funny.
Because it's bad.
It's so bad. They're all they're
What
all
about
bad.
Soul Surfer?
They're all bad. That's not a Disney Channel original. Is Soul Surfer the one where she gets her arm bitten off?
I think so.
Yeah, that's
what I'm
Disney.
calling
That's not
it.
a Disney Channel original.
Good movie, though.
Yeah, it's got Anna Sophia Robb, I think, of Bridge to
Or
Terabithia fame.
50 First Dates.
That's also not a Disney Channel
But
original.
they're in Hawaii. By an ocean.
You know what is a Disney Channel movie that takes place in Hawaii? Johnny Tsunami. And Johnny Capahala back on board. Because Johnny Capahala is like his name, but they call him Johnny Tsunami. And then for some reason in the second one they just use like his actual name.
Huh.
That was there's only I think 2 Disney Channel original movies that have gotten 3 trilogies rather. There's
High School Musical.
There's a couple that have gotten sequels. Maybe just 1. Johnny Capahala only has 2. But no, I think there's a couple others that have sequel. But the only 3 that have a full trilogy are Halloween Town, High School Musical, obviously. But High School Musical 3 was in theaters, wasn't it?
Probably.
So I'm not counting that one. I'm taking it off the board. This is full Disney Channel original.
What's the third one?
Xenon, Girl of the Future. It was like the first big hit for Disney Channel original.
Have I seen it?
Probably not. It was like super early on for them, like I said.
What
and
year?
I don't know, maybe like 1993 or something. 1999. There you go. Way later than that. But yeah, Raven Simone was in it. She played like the best friend, and yeah, it's pretty good. See, it's right up there with Blade Runner 2024, and people also searched for. It's just one of those great sci-fi movies.
Xenon.
You got Xenon, and then Z2, the sequel, I'm pretty sure, and then Z3, obviously, which is an absolute classic. And the whole premise of the movie is like she lives on the moon.
Yeah, Xenon the sequel.
Yeah, the sequel, baby.
And then
See,
Xenon
the Chipmunks
Z3.
stole that shit. Everybody thinks the Chipmunks are so great, but they stole.
Why? What's their name?
The Squeakquel.
Oh,
They call it the Squeakquel. It's the Zequel, baby. The
Zathura.
Zathura, sure. Doesn't again? People searched for.
Great movie.
Nims Island, dude. So my 5th birthday party, or my 10th birthday party in 5th grade, I had all my pals over for a sleepover. It was gonna be great. We were gonna have pizza at the house, and then we were gonna go see a movie. And I wanted to go see Drill Bit Taylor, the Owen Wilson movie, and then. Like the day before the party, this guy who was a friend of mine, his mom called our house
Drill Bit.
and said, I've been looking up this Drill Bit Taylor movie. It says brief nudity. I don't think that's good for the kids. Now,
Is her name Karen?
it might be. I have no idea. But mom is like, our mom is like, we can't go see Drill Bit Taylor. But we've got like 10 fucking kids coming. We have to plan something out. So they buy 10 tickets. They bring 10-year-old boys to see fucking Nims Island.
What is Nims Island?
Nobody knows. It's some dumb shit. I don't remember a thing about that movie except being mad that we had to see it.
A 2008 adventure film. Sounds like could be up your alley.
No,
A young girl alone on a remote island seeks help from an If
No,
she's
don't
alone
ask
on a
me.
remote island,
Yeah.
how is she seeking help?
I mean, smoke signals, something like that. I don't know. You got to think creatively when you're stranded on a remote island. Abigail Breslin, shout out.
I lost it.
But yeah, so we all went to go see Nim's Island.
The boys didn't like it.
Well, I don't remember a thing about it. I'm sure the rest of that night was so fun. Like that's like maybe my best birthday ever. And
no, I know your best birthday ever.
Okay?
Well, maybe not for you. I don't know, but like the coolest party that you had.
Which one?
The very first, like Nickelodeon awards.
Oh,
party.
the Kids' Choice Awards. That was on my birthday.
Yeah, because it was in April. I think
right.
It was.
I don't remember that.
Well, because the party was on April 1st.
Yeah.
Because do you remember?
Oh yes,
how
yes,
fucking
yes.
cool that
See,
was.
I get those mixed up all the time. Yeah, this was a great thing. So, shout out to our mom who really because the thing was Matthew's birthday is in the summer, so he would get a bounce house at every single birthday party. Yeah, here we go about the
born
bounce
in a
house.
different month.
And it was always too cold or rainy to have a bounce house at my birthday party. So our mom got really creative, and she threw some unbelievable birthday parties for very, very young. But so this one, which was probably, I want to say it was my 3rd grade birthday party. It was on April 1st, April Fool's Day. So our mom was like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to eat pizza or whatever.
No, we didn't eat
Oh,
yet.
we didn't eat yet?
No.
Oh, shit. I fucked up the story.
I think. You could be right.
Well, because this is how I remember it. So we ate, and then our mom was like, okay, guys, it's time for dessert. And, birthday party dessert. Fucking ice cream cake. More ice cream on top of it. She goes into the oven, and she pulls out a bunch of mini chicken pot pies. And I'll never forget the look on this one kid's face as these chicken pot pies come out of the oven. Because, honestly, I cannot think of something more disgusting to me besides Hamburger Helper at that age than a chicken pot pie. Because I didn't even know what the fuck it was.
Interjection. Chicken pot pies are so... Dude, I would do some nasty things for a chicken pot pie right now.
But back then I was like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Disgusting.
That was the rule. That was the rule. And so she dishes out all these pies, and I know what it is. So I start digging. I'm like, oh my god, these chicken pot pies.
I think
are
I was
great.
doing the same thing too.
Yeah. So, the other guys start to like poke at it, and they discovered that it's just some like vanilla pudding with like a bunch of candy and stuff in it. So and essentially like a pie crust, and it was delicious.
Skittles and Starburst.
Skittles and Starburst for like
it's supposed to look like
carrots.
peas and carrots. Yeah.
And it was a great. I mean, it was a great prank.
A prank somewhat wasted on 3rd graders, to be honest.
But you know what?
But a moment I'll never forget.
Yeah,
like
exactly. It went off without a hitch.
Yeah,
like that's
a great idea.
It's literally the Ocean's 11 of pranks.
At this point in time, I think if you wanted to prank me, you would have to tell me you were giving me a chicken pot pie, and it would be filled with pudding and candy rather than actual chicken pot pie.
You'd have to.
I think that's how you get
reverse
me.
card that shit.
Yeah, I think that's how you get me. Yeah, because like Etsy wasn't even a thing at the time, so that was straight off the top.
So you got it. Yeah, exactly. You had to really, go out of your way to discover that shit. There were no Pinterest boards with like ways to fool your children the way that there are now that gets so many hits. But yeah, fucking Nim's Island. I forgot all about that. They made a second one. They made a sequel, Return to Nim's Island. That can't be real. I don't think Abigail Breslin came back for the sequel. There's no way.
Oh, they had a few Nim's Islands. Yeah.
No, they don't.
They have a Nim's Island amusement park in
they don't.
Waco, Texas.
Okay, maybe there. And they can and you know what? They can keep it. Nim's Island.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great birthday party. That was the latest I had stayed up to that point. I stayed up with, who was there? Nate English of Quested. And he and I stayed up until 4 a.m. We were like the last two awake.
And that was like the thing at the time was how late can we stay awake?
How late can we stay up? Yeah, it was huge. It was like one of the first times I ever saw Robot Chicken because like the only thing on is Adult Swim or the 700 Club. And we had already watched fucking Nim's Island, so I wasn't going to put on the 700 Club and really get the boys juiced.
What DEF CON do you think you were at that night?
Oh, my God. The DEF CONs were off the board, baby. We were in no man's land at that point. DEF CON 5 all the way. We were it was Nate and myself and this one other kid like had stayed up with us for a pretty good chunk of time, and there was this one dude who was asleep like right up against the wall. He was under his blanket, and we started throwing. I took all my stuffed animals, including the giant giraffe that I had won before.
Was the basement finished at this point?
It was.
Okay.
So
that'd have been like the first year.
Yeah. Yes. It was fresh. So I took all my stuffed animals down there just for atmosphere, I guess. We started throwing them. We started throwing them all at this kid, and he didn't wake up. So we started throwing them harder. Now this kid has a massive mountain of stuffed animals covering him.
And we had a lot of stuffed animals.
We had a ton of stuffed animals. So I'm like, I don't know how breathing works. So I get nervous, and I'm like, he's gonna suffocate under all, because we're throwing him right at his face. So his head is buried under all these stuffed animals. I'm like, this kid is gonna suffocate.
You guys are gonna kill this kid.
We're gonna kill. He's gonna.
We're gonna go to jail for murder.
He's gonna die. This is the latest we've ever stayed up, and now we're.
This is why they say nothing good happens after 2 a.m.
Oh my god, fuck that. And I start like shuffling all the stuffed animals away, and his head is gone. He's got no head.
We decapitated him with the stuffed animals.
And I have never laughed harder. Like, his head was just under his blanket, obviously, but for a second I was like, oh, this kid's, like, did I accidentally take it with, like, the stuffed frog?
You actually pulled his head off.
But that was, like, one of the hardest I'd ever laughed.
I couldn't pinpoint a moment in time like that, probably, where, like an exact moment, because I don't necessarily have so many memories like that, but I do know for a fact that like some of the hardest that you've ever laughed in your life is at like young sleepovers like that. Like when very like, and then when you hear somebody's parents coming down the stairs because you're just cackling, like uncontrollably over the stupidest shit you could ever imagine.
Oh yeah, I mean we would get to points, especially this would happen every fucking time, Bill, where we would just start laughing at the other people laughing.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, because there's another podcast that I listen to, and the question that it's You Made It Weird with Pete Holmes, and he always asks, what's the hardest you've ever laughed, is like the last question he asks, because sometimes this podcast gets a little heavy. So if I ask you that question, because I think about that question all the time, so I'm going to have my answer, but I want to pose it to you.
I have to say I'm like a laugher though. When I get going and there's somebody around me going, like I cannot stop.
Yeah.
Honestly, shout out to Adriano Medici. The hardest, like, the times that I've laughed the hardest are probably when him and I are just uncontrollably laughing, because he's the same way. Like he's got that loud boom of a laugh.
Yeah.
And like, but there was one time, and I don't remember at all the situation. Oh, wait a minute. I kind of do. I was in 5th grade, and I was at the lunch table, and you know how they used to turn the lights out to get everybody to shut the fuck up, like in the cafeteria? And I'm starting to piece it together, but the reason could be wrong, but what I am think might have happened was the lights went down and it got dead silent, and like right as the lunch lady was about to start giving instructions, somebody farted. Like not somebody else, but like somebody random farted. That might not, it was either that or something got said, but I'm pretty sure there was a fart involved. And I was laughing so hard that I came back in laughter and then came forward, and like the long lunch tables that had the built-in benches, and I came forward, and I was smaller at the time, and I came forward so hard that I hit my eye, the side of my eye, like full speed, like boom, hit the side of my eye on the corner of the table in laughter. But I was laughing so hard, like it didn't even occur. And then finally, as the laughter started to die down, the people around me were looking at me like, dude, like, are you okay? And instantly when that happens, and then you start to feel the pain, you're in an instant panic.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't bleeding, but I had like this welt right on the corner of my eye, like huge welt, and you could see like the imprint of the table, and I thought for sure I was done. Like I instantly went into a panic mode, but I know I had to have been laughing really hard because that happened. And have you ever heard the Olive Garden story?
Oh,
yes, probably the hardest.
You and Odd, or you and Metzler
it was me and Odd on the show.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that is probably one of the hardest I've ever laughed in my life. That poor girl was honestly just trying to do like something nice. It was her first day.
Yeah. I remember now. Yep.
Taking on a solo table, and like she was gifted to us like as her first solo table because she was still training, because like we knew the person that was training her at the time.
Really?
So they're like,
okay.
you can't screw these people up. Like, just
got you.
Let's give you guys a try.
Cool.
And
because typically I'd be like, oh, you fucked her, like her first ever table, and it's just like three young guys.
And there was 3 of us there, and we were already like just having fun. It was when we were all in school and stuff, so it was just like probably the first like year or so that we hadn't seen each other as much as we used to, right? If that makes sense. So we're at the table. We're just shooting the shit. We're laughing already. Like we're getting giggly, and we ask this girl, because we're eating soup, salad, breadsticks, as we always did, and we asked this girl like, hey, because they bring you 3 breadsticks in a basket, and we're like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and we're like, hey, is there any chance, more for the sake of her, like, can you just bring us some extra breadsticks so that you don't have to keep coming back and forth just for breadsticks? And she's like, well, I'm not really supposed to. Like, I don't know. I'll see what I can do. We're not really supposed to, bring more than 1 batch at a time. So she comes back with the breadsticks, puts them on her table. And, like, as she puts them down, she got, like, the smirk. The classic smirk. Honestly, like, when our mom puts a card down in euchre?
Yes.
That's how she puts these breadsticks down.
A very, like, I'm doing something great here. Yeah.
And she kind of turns back and gives us like a, don't worry, I hooked you guys up.
Yeah.
And we're fucking juiced, right? We are fired up. We are like, this woman is a saint. Let's fucking go. But do a little dance. I unfold the napkin that is keeping the breadsticks warm in the little silver tray. And I looked down at the tray of breadsticks. Remember, there's me and 2 others, 3 total, sitting at this table. They were bringing us 3 at a time. We asked for some more. So I unfold 4 breadsticks. She brought us 1 extra breadstick. And I fucking lost it. Like, I couldn't get it. Like, I know I kind of remember telling the story when Adriana was here, but to the point where, like, somebody working there had to come over and be like, can you guys, like,
oh my God,
tone it down a little bit? Like, it's 4:30 on like a Tuesday in Olive Garden. Like, there's 100 old people here, and then you 2 or you 3, and you guys are disrupting the peace. Like, they're gonna be bitching about you guys on the bus on the way back to the nursing home.
Oh God,
what are you gonna do? Yeah, Medici. I'm sure there's so many other times where I know we've died laughing. But
one of my favorite odd stories, and I know I've said it on this podcast, if I didn't say it to his face, was the 4 Loco night, the first one that you guys did. And I was like reading in my room or something, and I came down, and you guys were all in the basement, but Adriano comes upstairs, and as I'm walking down, he's up by the front door, just like walking in circles by himself. He has no pants on. And he's just going, you want to see me spilly, 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 to himself. He doesn't even register that I'm there. He's just in his underpants, like a mental patient. You want to see me spilly, spilly, spilly. Like with the, like fucking Eminem in 8 Mile, but just like in his head, he's like spitting bars, but it's just to himself, like shuffling around like an absolutely senile
He's probably looking for a towel.
You want to see me spilly, spilly, spilly. No pants. No pants.
I spilled something.
He spilled something on his pants. You want to see me spill? And the hand motion. I'll never forget the hand
I know
motion
that
of
one.
it. It just made it so much better.
Emily's
a
laughing.
brief chuckle.
Yeah, what a character that guy is.
Yeah, it was fun when he was on the show.
Yeah, we'll get back on soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your moment?
Real quick, I've got 3. The first time I ever laughed so hard that it was like crazy. There's 3 times I've laughed this hard. The first time I was in 6th grade at the lunch table, and this kid told me that when he grew up, he wanted to get a dog and name it Boner. And he starts like pantomiming, like petting the dog, and he's like, you know, Boner, you've been getting pretty big over the years.
This kid was in 6th grade?
6th grade.
A comedic genius.
It was, and I had just learned what the word boner was.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you that story?
Yes. With our mother?
No. That was. What the fuck, Matthew? What the fuck?
What was that? That was a condom?
Yes, it was a condom. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. You can't take that out of context. You can't take that out of context.
You gotta clip that.
That's gonna start the montage. That's gonna start, and you can't. That's gross. Well, I don't even know if it can. We're gonna get flagged by Instagram for that. It's so hot in here. It's so hot in here.
It's getting warm.
But this, I had never laughed that hard in my life. Just this kid, you've been getting pretty big over the year, Boner. You're really growing, Boner. And,
down, boy.
Yeah, like shit like that. Like, whoa, yeah. It was so funny. The next time was in 8th grade. And this guy was explaining the plot of Shutter Island to me. And I just could not stop laughing. I'd never seen it before, and I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever heard.
It's a good movie, though.
Great movie. The last time, and the hardest, was I was home from college, and Bill was in town. He was up from Arkansas. And we were hanging out in our parents' basement. And we were waiting for our other buddy to come over, Jake. You know, Jake Lumdu, also been on this show. And we were watching Key and Peele, and there's this Key and Peele sketch where there's this guy who, when he laughs, he like doesn't make any sound. He just moves like this and like crazy and like does all the movements of hysterical laughing without making a sound or a facial expression. So we're like, let's mess with Jake. And we know that when he comes in, he's going to make a shitty joke, and let's just both like do that same like laugh without any noise. So he comes in and we're hanging out for a few minutes and then, watching TV still. And then, sure enough, Jake says something fucking stupid. And Bill and I both stand up and we're like, thinking we're so fucking funny. And Jake goes, is this the Key and Peele thing? And I go, ah! I fell to my knees as if looking into the face of God. My legs gave out, Matthew. I can't stress this enough. My body has never betrayed me that way before in my entire life. My knees gave out and I fell to the ground and I couldn't get back up. And meanwhile, Bill is writhing on the floor because he's laughing so hard that he hurt his back. And he's just screaming now, my back, my back. And he severely injured himself.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, there's
that was the best.
I'm glad that you said that because there was something that used to one of my old roommates, an unbelievable man, an unbelievable human.
Something about the boner. Sorry. Okay. This guy is a great guy. He's like the best guy.
Oh my
God. What the fuck are you? You're like Professor X.
Because I was about to say something. as you were saying, I'm still thinking about that. I replayed it in my head.
Yeah.
What I said.
I will tell that real story in a second.
Yeah. Zach Grace, an unbelievable guy, and this one time. What is that? It's so hot. So hot.
It's so hot.
People think we're on drugs, Andy.
Yeah.
Okay, so back. Have you ever seen the video?
Okay, I'm good. Oh, no, I got it.
Have you ever seen that video? I think it started as a Vine, and it was like a news anchor, and he was like, this local blind kid plays on like the youth football team, and then they show a clip.
No, get through it. You have to.
They show a clip of what looks to be a small blonde chubby kid in full football gear just running aimlessly around the football field. And so on Vine they would put an audio clip over that portion of the video where it's just the kid running around the field, and it'd be what the fuck is going on, or something like that, you know what I mean? And it would be super funny. So one night we're sitting around and we were talking about something, and for whatever reason that video came in my head. So I start talking about that video, and I'm sitting there laughing. And at first nobody else is really finding it funny. Well, they're laughing, but I'm kind of laughing hard. And so finally it dies down, and I kind of, not in an explain my joke way, but I kind of this is going to sound really dumb, but the reason that I was laughing at that is because as I was telling you guys about it, all I could think about was if this became a thing, and this is not offensive to blind people, but if there was an entire football team of blind people, and I began to progress this in my own head just because I couldn't stop going down rabbit holes of things that were funny to me.
Yeah.
And I was imagine, they have their football gear on, and they get on, their bus gets to the road game, and they get off the bus, and they all just start walking different directions and and lining up they're playing football. One's in the parking lot, one's in the stands, and I'm just I'm just hysterically laughing at this. Ugh. So then it became this thing because it was Grace could not stop laughing at the time, not because of what I was saying was funny, but because I could not stop laughing about it. And so it became this thing, whenever we'd be doing something, every once in a while, he would bring that up, in settings, he would just bring that up just to me. And I would start uncontrollably laughing and continuing to, just to him, spin this kind of scenario in my head. It would continue to get crazier and crazier. And I hadn't thought about it in a long time. And we were at a wedding on Saturday, and Grace was there, and I'm standing at the bar grabbing a drink at the reception, and Grace comes up next to me, and he's like, dude, you want to know what I was thinking about the other day? And we'd been drinking quite a bit, and he's like, the blind football team brought it up to me, and I just started dying laughing, and that was a moment that I'm sure I laughed pretty hard at.
All right.
You okay?
Yes. I'll tell the boner story, and that we haven't even done the Who Would Win of the Week yet.
Yeah, we'll do it after this.
This is a quick one. So,
I might have heard it.
Probably. I feel like I told it, but so I'm with my pal Andrew Dorico, also been on this podcast, and we were in 6th grade, and it was when YouTube was getting big and Smosh was getting big. And one of the biggest Smosh videos was Going to the Mountains, which is absolute. We're going to the mountains. We're going to the mountains. Absolute classic. Fucking easy button.
They run out of
shit
gas
in that. So that's the thing, is there's a magic easy button in that sketch. And this guy who was pretty bad kid. He's the same kid whose jeans were so tight that it broke the screen on his PSP when he put it in his pocket. And he showed us the video, and apparently I have a trend of like just asking questions. So when it gets to the part where the guy pushes a Staples button and he goes, I wish everybody in the world had a boner. And the three guys, they all start laughing. So I go, what's a boner? And this kid looks up at me, and with the creepiest smile ever, he goes, it's an erection. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. But if he had never been creepy and weird like that, I would never have that boner dog story. Like, I wouldn't. Like, these are probably like 2 weeks apart at most.
So and if that's I didn't how have it came up.
And if I didn't,
whoever was telling you about the dog knew that boner humor would get you because it was fresh in your brain.
No, I swear to God, there's no way. It was just a coincidence because boners are funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do the Who Would Win of the Week.
I'm very excited for this Who Would Win of the Week.
As am I. As you said, it was an absolute banger. I'm very proud of it. And you know what? We just got to do it. I wasn't sure if we were going to do it closer to Halloween. We'll make it happen. This week's Who Would Win of the Week is Halloween Oreos versus Reese's Cup Chips Ahoy cookies. Chewies. Yeah, so they've
come
got
in a red box.
Yeah, they come in a red box. And they've got the Reese's Puffs right in them. I was surprised.
Cups.
Yeah, the Reese's Cups. I was surprised when I told you this idea on the phone and you were like, this is a tough one, because in my mind, it's not tough at all. Because I can hardly name any entity that could beat a Halloween Oreo.
So, here's the thing, and this is what makes it tough for me. I love Oreos. Like, in fact,
it's Milk's favorite cookie.
I had to go to Rite Aid the other day, which, mental note to myself, I have to go to Rite Aid on the way home. It might have been on the way home from here, to be honest.
Probably.
And I had to get hair gel is what I needed.
What?
Yeah.
You use hair gel?
Yeah.
I never noticed.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. I got one hair gel story, but we can't. You want me to? We can. No. I know we should do the Who.
So because this has something to do with the Who.
Yeah.
This is tying in. And just a few days before, I had the conversation with my roommates because there was a box of Oreo Thins in my house.
Plain or like regular Oreo Thins?
Okay. And I got very offended by this.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why in the world does anybody have Oreo Thins? And they were like, well, somebody gave them to us. I'm like, that's the worst gift of all time. No offense to the person who gave them to us. But they bought them and they realized they didn't want them. That's why they gave them away. Like, if you're going to, the thing about eating Oreo Thins is like, you're going to end up eating the same amount of Oreos because they're Thins.
Yeah.
So just get regular Oreos. Preferably double stuffed, but regular Oreos.
Yeah, it's weird to go backwards like that.
Yes.
But that's always the thing.
No, I mean, yeah, they had to do something.
People want to feel skinny,
I'm not
I guess.
Exactly. I'm not discrediting why they made them. I'm just saying don't buy them.
Yeah. Let's get them off the shelf.
Yeah.
We're boycotting Oreo Thins.
So there had just been Oreo Thins in my house, and then like 2 days after that, somebody came home with the Wegmans brand Oreos, which I actually really like. I think that as far as like a non-name brand cookie goes, they are the best non-name brand cookie.
I don't like them.
Anyway, so I'm in Rite Aid, and they, you know how they have like little, not grocery sections, but like little like snacky grocery.
Yeah,
you can buy like a can of soup or whatever.
Yeah.
So as I'm walking past that area with my hair gel, I'm like, I'm gonna get some cookies because during the summer, if I had to go there later, I would usually get like a little thing of ice cream. So I stop, I look, and they have the mega stuffs. I'm like, this is exactly what we needed to set the tone of what's going on. So I walk in, we're eating the mega stuffs, and I'm like, dude, I just realized that it's October. I should have just gone to the store and got Halloween Oreos. Like, how do I not? Because Halloween Oreos, I would say, are the superior Oreo.
100%.
Here's the problem is they're only out for a month a year.
Mm-hmm.
And the other 11 months of the year when I'm in the grocery store and I buy cookies, guess what kind of cookies I buy?
Chips Ahoy? Oh,
the Reese's.
I don't know why that was like a huge reveal for me. I was like these Kaiser Sose?
I'm telling you, like, the only other cookies I buy, unless it's like a special event where I need Oreos, you know what I mean? Like that situation.
Sure.
Like when I'm at Tops every Sunday doing my grocery shopping, if I'm in a mood where I'm like, I can afford to eat some cookies this week, not financially, but like physically, that's what kind of cookie I get. And the reason that I don't buy them is because even when you buy the family pack, I'm at least a sleeve a sitting kind of guy.
Wow.
Like 10 to 15 cookies a sitting. Like I can't stop. I cannot. If I buy that package of cookies, it does not last 2 full days. Because one of my other roommates, well, both my roommates are cookie fiends. One is allergic to peanuts, so he doesn't get to eat those ones. But so it's a tough battle for me because also like the Halloween Oreo was more of a like it's a huge staple to us because at the time there was no other Oreos. Like besides regular Oreos.
This was before they started making a specialty Oreo for like Arbor
Day it was like
Susan B. Anthony.
Yeah, it was like the only other time that there was the only time there was a not regular Oreo was when there was orange Oreos on the shelf. Because now they make purple ones too.
They make them all.
But purple Halloween ones.
I haven't seen those.
I believe
I would eat those.
Yeah, no, and they're
because I love purple.
But for whatever reason, whatever reason, that orange frosting just fucking smacks just different enough than a regular Oreo.
Absolutely.
It's a tough one for me.
Now here's. I'm going to put my bias aside for a little second, and let's talk about the who would win is always about science, and the real question is like let's say, for durability's sake, I think a great test for both these products is. Put them in milk.
Yes.
Submerge them. Which one lasts the longest?
That's easy. The Reese's does.
Well, the Reese's themselves, but by then the cookie is already dissolved.
No, the cookie does. No, I'm telling you, Andy.
You have to understand, Oreo, milk's favorite cookie, it's designed to soak up as much milk and maintain its integrity.
No, but so you want to talk science? So because of the way that an Oreo is constructed, cookie, filling cookie, there's more surface area on an Oreo to absorb the milk. Okay. So it does initially do a better job of absorbing the milk, but if you leave it in there for too long, it crumbles. 100%.
I mean, yeah, eventually it will, but I think it would last longer.
No, it does. Sorry, I didn't mean to snip at you. But I'm telling you, if you take an Oreo and a Chips Ahoy cookie, the Chewies, the Reese's Chewies.
Yeah. Because
of the way that the Reese's Chewies are made up. Now, let's all say dry. The Reese's Chewy probably I'm gonna get down. No, I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole. Go ahead. So, but we'll start here. If you dunk an Oreo in milk and you're waiting till it's like the perfect softness to eat, it happens like okay. When you first put it in there, if you put it in there for 10 seconds and take it out, it might still be virtually as hard. But once it hits that peak absorption point, it goes like that. Like it gets soft very, very fast.
The event horizon.
Whereas a Reese's Chewy is softer to begin with, but it takes a lot longer for that milk to be absorbed because it's a very dense cookie.
You know what? I understand because it's spongy.
Yes,
the Reese's
it's
is spongy, and the Oreo it's a hard cookie.
Yeah, it gets
as cookie should be.
Yes,
but the thing about it, like the Reese's Chips Ahoy, it obviously has like it's a chunky cookie. It's a thick boy. It's got a lot of elements.
It is damn good.
But like, I just feel like the Reese's Chips Ahoy has no game to me, and no cookie has more game than the Halloween Oreo. Like, the Halloween Oreo is the smoothest fucking cookie out there. Like, that thing, like it's the ninja of cookies. Like, it's making moves that you can't even see.
But
it's fast. It's a fast cookie. There's no way that the Reese's Chips Ahoy is quick.
But
it's like the Blob.
I think here's the thing. It is that no, see, I don't. Well, okay, you might be right, but even though the Reese's cookie starts off softer, no milk in this equation, right? Harvard is soft.
Sure,
it's soft, but as you said, it's kind of it's kind of spongy in the sense where it would absorb blows, whereas an Oreo, it might sustain the first blow because it's hard.
Sure,
but the second blow is gonna crack it because it has no give.
But even if it cracks, the frosting is the
It holds it together.
Top-notch ingredient. That's
going
to hold the whole thing together. And
but I still
Reese's
think
thing,
that once it cracks, though, like once it cracks, it will originally hold it together. But I think it would take you less wax with a. Ready for this?
Okay.
I think it would take you less wax with a Reese's to
like
split
with,
an Oreo.
Like wax, like WHACK with a bat.
No, but you take a cookie. You take the Reese's cookie, like as you know, because this is like we're playing with action figures, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you're taking a Reese's cookie and whacking it an Oreo with it. I think it takes less wax with a Reese's to break an Oreo than it would with an Oreo to break a Reese's. In fact, I would even say that the Oreo has a solid chance of breaking itself while whacking the Reese's, whereas I don't think the Reese's would break in the process of whacking an Oreo.
Sure, but the Reese's cookie itself, it's kind of like a Jenga puzzle. Like, there's only so much cookie in it, and there's so much Reese's. And as those Reese's start to fall away, the cookie just completely crumbles. It's like,
see, I don't think it does completely crumble.
It does. They're kind of like opposites of each other in the way that, like we said, when you're hitting the Oreo, the frosting is going to help keep it intact. But as pieces, fall off, it's like Oogie Boogie in Nightmare Before Christmas, where like that thread unspools and then he just starts to like completely fall apart. That's the Reese's cookie.
I've never seen Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, really?
But,
you gotta watch that, dude.
Wait, again.
I think you would like that movie too. It's got a lot of songs.
I think my point is too like valid in my own mind that I have to take the Reese's cookie here, because think about it. If I set an Oreo right here, if I set a Halloween Oreo right here and I have a Reese's cookie in my hand, whack, 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 whack. Okay? And I break it, 8 whacks. If I then take a fresh Reese's and a fresh Oreo and I sit there and whack, whack the other way around, I think that the Oreo is breaking itself before it breaks the Reese's.
Well, here's another difference. Is like during the whacking process, when these two cookies are going at each other, the Reese's part, you're kind of you're slamming.
No, I'm side hacking.
Yeah, you side.
No, I'm side hacking with the Reese's.
Okay, in that case, I think that the Oreo still got it.
Well,
when you side with the Oreo,
I think
because those Oreo corners are tough. They're hard. You throw an Oreo cookie at somebody, that's gonna hurt.
It's gonna break though. If you throw a Reese's cookie at somebody,
I think that's definitely gonna shatter.
I know.
Not shatter, but like crumble apart essentially.
Well, if you throw them both hard enough, they might break. But I think you could throw the Reese's cookie harder than you could throw the Oreo.
Let's get a major league pitcher in here to throw both
then they're
cookies.
just both breaking.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see which one is more
But
intact,
I think that
keeps its integrity.
I think that not only could the Reese's sustain more hits, I think it could hit harder and not take as much damage. Whereas the Oreo, I think, could take less hits, and in order to sustain less damage, it would have to hit softer.
We're just on completely opposite ends of this one. We just see it completely differently.
I love both.
I hear you. I'm a company man. I'm a Halloween Oreo through and through, and that's what I'm locking in.
I gotta take Reese's. I love this time of year. I think Halloween Oreos is probably a better cookie because it's limited. It's the only time you can get it.
Sure.
But I think in a fight, I think ultimately the Reese's wins. Sideball. You want to know who would definitely lose? Is the Pillsbury Halloween cookies.
Oh,
with the pumpkins
those
and the ghosts.
Yeah, they taste good, but they don't have the juice.
No, those
That's
things
for
are
sure.
those things cannot survive.
They crumble when you
those
look
things
at
are
them.
so fucking good. Do they still sell those?
Oh yeah, they sell them year round for all, not just for holidays. Like in the off seasons, they've got like Scooby Doo ones and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, they've always got them.
Those things raw
It's the best.
are the oh
the taste
my
it leaves
God.
in your mouth though is so gross.
No, I disagree. I want that
it's
taste
so
in my mouth at all
gross.
times.
Ugh.
So let's lock this in.
Like 10 minutes after you eat it, that taste lingers.
I don't know
it's
if I recall the
disgusting.
taste.
Oh,
I haven't
it's
had one of those
disgusting.
cookies raw in a while. But like the problem is there's only like 12 cookies that come in those packs. And the second you open them instantly.
There's 24.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
The second you open them instantly, at least 3 are going down raw.
Yeah, of course. You have
So
to.
now you've almost cut a fourth of your cookies out.
Yeah, but it's worth it. You're enjoying it in a different way.
Yeah. So let's lock this in.
Yeah.
I'm going with Reese's.
And Halloween Oreos cannot be beat by Man or Beast.
Let's see what people say. I feel like there's going to be some seasonal bias here, but I think you guys should strongly consider.
Maybe, but now's the time.
Vote on that on Friday on Instagram. Who would win of the week? What I was going to say was, you want to know what movie I do want to watch? That does not remind me at all of Nightmare Before Christmas, but is what I was thinking, is that Monster House movie.
Oh God, I never liked that movie.
Really?
You know who wrote that movie was Dan Harmon, creator of Community and Rick and Morty, co-creator. He wrote that. He wrote Monster House.
Didn't they?
Just
the Harmon brothers direct the?
No, those are the Russo brothers. They produced Community, and they did direct quite a few of those episodes early on. But why the fuck didn't we talk about this? Community movie. It's in the works. It's official. Donald Glover, I think he is coming back because he didn't leave that show because it was bad. He just had other shit to do.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's so fucking creative, you can't hold him down. Like, he's definitely coming back. And it's going to be sick.
You can't come out with that movie without a Troy and Abed
component. No, you can't.
So I don't think they would even try to do it without his.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Without him already being, somewhat signed.
And obviously, Joel McHale's been saying he's down. It's gonna be.
Joel McHale's down for literally anything. He did a Tiger King series.
Yeah, but and you know what? Joel McHale, he is down for anything. But
he should bring back the soup. Is what he should do.
They tried to years ago.
You can't do
on.
It. You can't
also,
say
it actually
anymore.
might. He might be doing something like that again.
Yeah, but you can't do it like he used to. Like old Tosh.0.
Yeah.
That shit
they
was,
tried to do it on Netflix. They had the Joel McHale show for 2 seasons, and I
don't know that I ever saw.
It just wasn't. They just didn't do it. They just didn't do it well. It kind of.
The Soup was a funny ass show.
I love The Soup.
That was a sleepover special.
Yeah, for sure. I watched a ton of The Soup. I learned. That's where I fucking watched What Would Ryan Lochte Do was on The Soup. That they showed that clip of him. I got a lovely lady here, and I don't know how long to put the pizza.
It was like Tosh.0, but with all the stuff.
It was
that
all
comes
reality
from,
shows.
Yeah, all reality shows.
It was all reality shows. Which is out. Yeah.
It was like a. It was like
stayed informed.
It was like
culturally.
watching, like a magazine. What are those magazines called?
Yeah. Like a fucking Us Week, like People magazine or something.
Yeah, what are they called? Tabloid.
Yeah.
It was like watching a tabloid.
Yeah. It was a great show.
Yeah.
Can I tell the hair gel story real quick? So I was in 7th grade, and this was when, we've posted pictures of awkward Andy. This was when Andy was at his awkwardest. And, I keep my hair kind of up nowadays, but back then, this was before that was in, so the totally down look,
flat hair
was what was up. We have curly hair in our family, so I could never get it, and it would always I had wing tips for my bangs essentially, and I wanted it to be straight. I wanted to be straight, so I would put an unbelievable amount of gel in my hair, and it never worked. But one day I was like, I just give me one day of straight hair, God, Jesus, Allah, whoever, just give me one day of straight hair. I put so much gel into my hair that it was literally a helmet, and I put so much gel in my hair that you could see it. As the day went on, when the gel dried, it was like I had a white sheet on top of my head, and it was so dense and hard that you could knock on it like a table. So when I went to health class that day, they had sinks in the classroom, and my buddy was like, we got to do something about this. So I stuck my head into that sink, and we broke apart the gel helmet. It was brutal. It was so much gel.
That's a very I could imagine myself going through that, because I'd be so I got to do something about this. I'd be freaking out.
There was this one day. This is just another.
Because you couldn't do it in a bathroom sink, because those things were
no, exactly.
Those things sucked.
This is just another story, but I had these earbuds that I got at Blockbuster, and they were Tootsie Pop ones.
I somewhat recall those.
Yeah, and so the they were rubber. So the rubber part could come off, and sometimes
it would get stuck in the ear.
When I took the earbuds out, the rubber part would stay in my ear. So one day I'm on the bus listening to music on the way into school. I take them out. No big, the rubber part's still in my ear. No big deal. I go in there to get it. I can't get it out. it's so deep that my fucking sausage fingers cannot get this thing out. So
You
I'm
got
like,
saucies. You
so I'm
got
like,
average.
so I'm like, I'll never forget. Shout out to Luke Butel, 6th grade. We had a project that was, or an assignment that was like, write an opinion you have that you think other people might disagree with, and his was Andrew Canada has sausage fingers. I'll never forget that as long as I live. But he didn't say it as like a mean way.
Yeah.
But I was like, what the fuck? So I get off the bus and I'm like, don't panic. I go in and there's this guy in homeroom and I'm like, hey, can you check my ear real quick and just see when I let the earbud, like, where is it? And he goes, yeah, no problem. And he looks at me and goes, oh my God, I can't see it. Now my heart is racing. I'm in a full panic mode. And I'm like, Mrs. Boobar, can I go to the nurse? And she goes, yeah. So I walked down.
Did she ask why?
No. I was like, I have to go to the nurse right now. And she was like, okay. So I go down there and I walk in and my voice is like kind of shaky and I like it's the beginning of the morning. Like the day hasn't started, so the nurse is just in there alone. She's not seen any patients. And I just standing in the doorway of the nurse's office, my voice is shaking. I'm like, I put in headphones and the earbud is not they can't see it. So but I'm trying to stay calm. So she goes, have a seat on one of the beds. And, it's got the paper on there and stuff. So I sit down and she brings out a thing of tweezers and she's like, just tilt your head to the side. I'll look in there and I'll be able to get it out. I'm like, okay. And I tilt my head, and she's like, goes in there with the tweezers, and I just remember sitting there, and one tear rolls down my face. I'm straight-faced, and just a single tear of full panic.
You're talking about to have a procedure.
Yeah, yes. And she goes in there with the tweezers and gets it out so easy.
Just plucks it out.
And she's like, you can stay here for a couple minutes if you want. I'm like, thank you.
Let the heart rate settle. It is so funny thinking back like to stories of that, because to this day things like that happen to me. As far as like something happens and I'm like,
things get stuck in you?
No. Yeah. I'm like
oh Christ.
No, not, like something happens and like instantly anxiety builds in my body, and I'm like, how are we going to deal with this? Like, we have to assess this situation and feel it out and then see how we're going to do. And the entire time you're just trying to stay calm. And I know that like there's a lot of things that have happened to me like that in my life, but I think in a horrible way. And the reason that it probably continues to happen to me is like I can't remember a single one of them. Like, I think that is something that those are buried deep in the depths of my soul. And I know that that's how I am with situations, but like I can't. And I was like that. Like, you want to know, like, this is what happens. I feel like a lot of people this happens to, but this is a good example of the way that it feels like when you're young and like passionate about, not passionate, but like care about like a lot of things, and the teacher tells you to like pull out your homework and you're like, I didn't realize that we had homework last night. Like, what am I going to do when they come around to check my homework? Like, what is my play? And like, you're at the end of the line too. So you're not getting over with it quick. And every single person before you, they're like, good job, good job, good job. And then they get to you and you're just like, I got nothing. I don't know what you're trying to tell you.
Teachers are scary. Like, I was afraid of all of my elementary school teachers, pretty much, looking back on it.
Yeah. But I also, you ever seen the video or like the videos or the tweets or something that are like, people that used to count how many people were in front of you in popcorn reading so you could pre-read your paragraph? Like, how are you doing these days?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Always did
I didn't know that people didn't do that.
Yeah, I know. You were dumb if you didn't do that. You had to, yeah.
That was stressful.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the worst too, the worst too in situations like that is like them when either things would change or it would pop. Like, I don't know if this ever happened to you, but you're not listening to what's going on currently because you're pre-reading your paragraph. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And then like the teacher calls you out for not paying attention and is like, where are we right now? Like pick up where we just left off.
Shit.
And you're like, now not only have I not pre-read what I'm supposed to be reading, but I have no clue where we are like in this chapter of McGraw Hill.
That's brutal. Yeah, fucking McGraw Hill ruining lives.
What are you going to do?
Have them sponsor the show, I guess.
I mean, I know it's definitely creates more work for the two of you, but a good old-fashioned Wednesday, Andy.
Yeah, I know. We're back to the Wednesdays for 1 week, and now unexpectedly we have to go back. But we'll be back to the Wednesdays.
And we back.
Honestly, I've been having such a good time doing it, just the two of us.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah,
but
it's definitely
we'll get some people lined up for the future.
No, it's good both ways. But it is fun when we get to be in here with just us because, it's just what we do, Andy.
Yeah.
We're built different.
Sure.
We are him. Could be. That makes Emily her.
Sure. I'm literally just waiting for the wrap up.
No,
right
yeah,
now.
I'm out of juice.
I'm already mentally out of here. It's less hot. It is less hot.
It was the laughter.
It was hot. It was.
Yeah, it got sweaty. It got sweaty, and it got sweaty fast.
Yeah.
Andy, I love you.
I love you too. Let's get out of here. Thanks, folks.